Hello everyone and welcome back to another bracket video. Um, I want to preface this by saying it's impossible to pick a perfect bracket because you don't know what someone's going to do. On paper, a team can look amazing, perfect, like they're going to go all the way, Final Four, easy, but that's on paper. What you need to remember and realize is that these players are people too, and they have things affecting them outside of basketball. They've got their personal life. They've got family that they need to worry about. They've got, their schoolwork they need to do. Some teams get people to do it for them. They're paid in North Carolina. But, I mean, there's no need to think one team's going to do so good because this team's really good on defense while this team's really good on offense and they're gonna clash. Well, one team, the offensive team could have a really off day. The defensive team can't score well, real low scoring basketball. But the defensive team ends up winning because the offensive team can't find their rhythm, can't get it going, and now you have a 12 seed beating a 5 seed, or a 15 beating a 2, or a 16 over a 1, and it's they're people. You can't just look at paper and say, oh, on paper, or because this team won 2 months ago, they're gonna beat this team again, or they beat this team, so how can you think they're gonna lose to this team? They're people. Some some players, Vermont may want it more than Arkansas does. Arkansas may come out lay a fat egg because the players aren't really wanting it. They don't want it as much as Vermont does. So Vermont comes out and they're bringing heat. They're bringing everything they've got, and Arkansas comes out and they're flat because Vermont just wants it more. Vermont's just all over them, all over the place, and you don't know how these coaches are preparing these kids, and you don't know how these kids are preparing themselves, not just physically but mentally. Some of these kids have never been to the tournament. You've got Cal State Fullerton, which shows up every so often. Delaware's in here for the first time in a while. St. Peter's is in here for the first time. I mean, Colgate, their players are looking to come back and make another big upset against Wisconsin. And if Wisconsin's Davis comes out and he's flat, then Colgate will get that upset because Colgate, those players really want that. They want to win this game. It's up to Wisconsin to want it more. But it's going to be hard because both teams really want it, but one of them is going to have that edge, that little edge, and they're going to know the players and the coaches are going to go through all these coaches, all these players are going to be going through video. They're going to be going over the players, going to be going over the hot spots, the cold spots. Who's playing where the most time? What offense do they run? What defense are they in certain situations? What are you looking for? Um, how many times does a team pass the ball with 4 minutes on the clock and they're down two? How many times do they shoot the corner three with this player or that player? That's that's kind of like the stuff they're looking at. They're not looking at, oh well, on paper they score 84 points a game and we only score 76. It's looking bad for us. No, it's that's not it at all. They're going through film. They're going through everything. They've only got a couple of days to prepare for all this. Especially these teams that are playing these play-in teams. They've got a little bit of a disadvantage unless you're Kansas. Well, Texas Southern won, so it's all right. But these other teams that are having to play-in teams and that could struggle against them. They've got less time to look at the film and the tape and to recognize which player's good, which player's bad. Are they on a hot streak? What can we do to stop them? What can we do? What are they going to do to try to stop us? Because you can't just look at your own team, but you have to look at what they're going to do against you to try to prepare for you. So, say you're Wisconsin, you have John Davis, and he's your star player, whatever, and all American, an All American first team, and you got an All Freshman. Well, what's Colgate going to do? They're going to start to take Davis out of the game, of course. So they may, you know, box in one against Davis, or just try to keep him out of the game, or play 3-2, try to shut down any threes. 2-3, not allow anything in the perimeter or on the inside. And then you've got to use more than just Davis for his shooting. He's got to be able to pass the ball. He's got to be able to get open. You've got to set ball screens, off ball screens. You've got to be able to get around. Virginia Tech's going to be doing that a lot against Texas because Texas has good defense. Texas lacks a little bit of chemistry right now. And they're going to need a little bit of teamwork. But Texas themselves, those players, have to mentally prepare for that. They can't sit there and think, oh, our defense is good, but our offense is struggling. Virginia Tech's going to beat us easily because they shoot the three ball well. No, you can't get into that. That coach has to mentally prepare those players and get them physically prepared for a fast paced offense, as well as slowing the game down themselves because Texas may not be able to score as easily. If you just go straight off Ken Pom rankings, you're not going to be able to determine this at all. And yeah, with that said, I'm going to make another bracket. But this bracket is going to be made. Now let's switch scenes here. Specifically off of Ken Pom rankings. I'm going to take Ken Pom rankings and put them into a bracket I have on my other monitor, and we're going to see who ends up in the national championship game just based off of Ken Pom. Now, first and foremost, Gonzaga is number one on adjusted offense. Adjusted offense is per 100 points. As you can see here, efficiency, points scored per 100 possessions. That's what it is. So Gonzaga's number one, Iowa's number two. And now you might think here, oh, Iowa's really good, but Iowa's defense, adjusted defense, is 78 with a non-con schedule that was weak. In fact, it was ranked 324th. Their non-con was. So Iowa, while having a good offense, lacks massively on the defensive end and hasn't faced, outside of the Big Ten, that good a competition this year. And Gonzaga didn't either. They're 245th, but they're an all-around good team, and those players have been there for a while. They have a lot of seniority. Um, Purdue, number 3 on offense, but number 99 on defense. So if we went, let's see, to 1-7, so 1-7. So let's take, and then we'll see Norfolk State. So where's Norfolk State rank? Let's scroll down here. Let's see if we can find Norfolk State. And Norfolk. Nope. Oh, there they are. 190th when it comes to, is that right? Yeah, they're 190th on adjusted offense and 160th on defense. So, oh, wrong team. That's Baylor. Well, I'm only giving Baylor over Norfolk State too because they're so low. But Gonzaga plays Georgia State, who is even lower at 206th on offense and 115th on defense. While their defense is better, it's still not good. So Gonzaga over Georgia State. And then we'll go to. I'll just take Arizona over Wright State or Bryant because neither of those teams are very high either. Both are very low. Baylor and Norfolk State. So where's Baylor at here? Baylor is 9th when it comes to adjusted offense and 14th on adjusted defense. Now, what they don't tell you is that Baylor has injury issues. I believe that, and they're missing their starting center. I believe someone else is missing 2 starters, either Houston or Iowa, and I don't remember. But still Baylor right there, 9th and 14th. So based off Ken Pom, you would take Baylor over Norfolk State, and they'll probably win. It's likely. And then Kansas versus Texas Southern. So where does Kansas rank on here? Kansas is 6th in offense and 28th on defense. Okay, all right. Well, lower on the defensive end, but still, high in offense. And then Texas Southern. So Texas Southern, we'll go back to the scroll block here and we'll go way down. Texas Southern. There they are. 269th on offense, 101st on defense. Defense is better than Norfolk State's, but their offense is probably the worst in the tournament. So Kansas over Texas Southern. And then we'll go back up, and now we'll do a 2 seed because that's all the 1 seeds. So we've got Kansas, Baylor, Gonzaga, and Arizona, depending on Wright State or Bryant. Which again, it doesn't matter. Arizona's number 4 here on Ken Pom or number 5 on Ken Pom offense. All right, let's go to the 2 seeds. Let's see. We've got Duke and Cal State Fullerton. Duke is number 7 in offense and number 44 on defense. Their defense is lower than what I thought it would be. And then Cal State Fullerton Let's see, how low are they? They've got to be one of the lower teams. Right here. They rank 144th on offense and 165th on defense. So I'd take Duke over Cal State Fullerton. Now you might be thinking 1 and 2 seeds are going to be at the top here, but that's probably we're just going through 2 seeds, so that's what we're focused on right now. Got to keep going to get. I mean, you've got. I mean, Purdue's right here, but again, a bad defense is going to make me think otherwise here in a minute. Now let's go to Villanova and Delaware. Villanova is 8th on offense and 29th on defense. One of the other really good all-around teams in this tournament who could go all the way. But let's take a look at Delaware, the 15 seed, who's probably way down here. Delaware. There they are. They are 101st on offense and 211th on defense. So Villanova may beat Delaware 98 to 60. It just may be a bad game. They have reserves in at the end. So Villanova over Delaware. And then we'll go down and we'll look at Kentucky versus St. Peter and Auburn versus Jacksonville State. So as you can see here, Kentucky is 4th on offense, 25th on defense. Another good all-around team. Again, number 2. And then you've got St. Peter's way down here. Way down here. Below Norfolk State, below Georgia State, below Yale. Right there they are. 260th on offense and 34th on defense. That's a really, really good defense. However, I doubt the 34th rated defense and having a 260th ranked offense against the number 25 offense and the number 4 offense and the number 25 defense is going to do St. Peter's any good. So, give me Kentucky. It might be a little close, but again, a really, really bad offense here. But a bit tougher strength of schedule. They were 70th in strength of schedule and 118th overall in Ken Pom. Now let's go to Auburn and Jacksonville State. So Auburn here is lower than you would think. They are 24th on offense and 8th on defense. Auburn has a low offense and they're a little cold right now. I wouldn't take Auburn to go all the way. But they played Jacksonville State, who was way down here again. Let's see, where were they? Jacksonville. Oh, they were up. I went too far. My bad. Jacksonville State is ranked 132nd on offense, 177th on defense. So if you're looking for 15 over 2, it'd be Jacksonville State over Auburn, which I have in some brackets. But I don't expect Jacksonville to beat Auburn based on Ken Pom rankings. But again, they're people. All right, so that's all the 2 seeds, I believe. We've got Kentucky, Auburn, Villanova, and Duke all advancing. And now we'll go to the 3 seeds, which is where this gets a little spicy, I think. So let's start with Texas Tech and Montana State. Texas Tech's offense is a little low. They're not the best offensive team. They're a much better defensive team. See right here. Texas Tech has the 64th ranked offense, but the number 1 defense in the country, according to Ken Pom. That's adjusted per 100 possessions. So while Texas Tech is 64th in offense, which is not great, but first in defense, and defense goes a long ways. I think it's enough to take out Montana State, who is rated, once we find Montana State, 150th on offense and 129th on defense. So both are they're more defensive teams, but Texas Tech should get it done over Montana State with relative ease because they just have a slightly better offense, and it's really not much of a difference. They have 150 to 64. That's about 80 positions, but still, it's a little close. It might be a little close for comfort for Texas Tech. Defense will take care of this game. It'll be maybe 72 to 54, something like that. The next 3 seed is Tennessee and Longwood. Tennessee is a much better overall team. Um, I'm surprised they're not that. They're also better defensively. They're the number 36 offense and the number 3 defense, which I'd rather be the number 36 offense and 3 defense than the 64 offense and 1 defense. Um, just because that means your offense can get the ball moving a little bit more. And Longwood should be pretty low. Longwood is rated 110th on offense and 187th on defense. So I expect Tennessee to absolutely slaughter Longwood here. They may win by 30 or 40 as well as being a hot team right now. But again, they may come into this tournament flat-footed and only win by 10 to 15. So give me Tennessee and Texas Tech out of the West and Tennessee out of the South. And we'll go to the East and Midwest. And our 3 seeds here are Purdue, which is the number 3 offense and the 99 defense. We've gone over this. And Yale, who is not that far down here. In fact, I want to make sure I don't miss them early. Oh no, Yale was low on offense. Never mind. Yale always gives teams trouble in the tournament. They're the number 210 offense and 103 defense. But their defense is what's key here because Purdue has such a bad defense. And while Yale has almost the same defense as Purdue, rating wise, and their non-con was plus 0.65, while Purdue's was almost -4. So they had 275th easiest schedule. Or 275th hardest, so one of the easier non-con schedules. But they played in the Big Ten against Ohio State, struggling Michigan team, Michigan State, teams like that. But give me Purdue, but it'll be close against Yale. If Yale out-rebounds Purdue like they did against Baylor a few years ago, give me Yale. But that's an upset to watch out for. Purdue and Yale both have similar defenses. Purdue just has actually, give me Purdue by about 20 because Yale's coach isn't exactly confident in his team either, which is a bad sign for Yale. They may lose by 30. So Purdue over Yale, Tennessee over Longwood, and Texas Tech over Montana State. And then our last 3 seed out of the Midwest is Wisconsin. Wisconsin, who has a low offense. Wisconsin is rated. Oh boy, where are you? Where are you, Wisconsin? Oh, you're higher than this. Where's Wisconsin? I'm missing it. Oh, okay, here they are. They have the 47th offense and the 37th defense. Okay, 47-37, not bad. Sitting in the middle, that's not a team that's going to go all the way. Not at all. Not according to Ken Pom. And they played Colgate. So we got 47-37, 47 offense, 37 defense. Slightly better defensive team. And then you've got Colgate, who I believe I just saw towards the top. They weren't low, though, were they? I think they were over this. Oh, here they are. Colgate has the number 79 offense and 203 defense. So while their defense severely lacks, their offense kind of sort of makes up for it. The 37th ranked defense should take care of Colgate, but don't be surprised if Colgate beats Wisconsin. And I'm not going to be surprised if Colgate beats Wisconsin. Because, like I said, Colgate, while having the 203rd ranked defense, now knows who they need to target and what they need to do. There are only 2 players on Wisconsin who can really shoot that ball. And it's Davis and the freshman they've got. The all-American freshman team player whose name escapes me at the moment, but you should know it if you're watching this video. But give me Wisconsin in this one, but it's not going to be pretty. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe Colgate's defense struggles the whole game, and Davis does whatever he wants to. Goes out and shoots 60 points. 60 points, 1,400 rebounds, and 12 steals. But Wisconsin beat Colgate. Of course, that's why they're there. That's why they're ranked third. And so that takes care of all the 3 seeds. We got Wisconsin, Purdue, Tennessee, and Texas Tech. I'm going to move on to the 4 seeds. Um, the 4 seed out of the West is Arkansas, who, as you can see here, is not on this page. They are a little lower when it comes to offense. They're ranked 40th on offense, 16th on defense. So another team that is a little bit better on the defensive side. And then they play Vermont, who we mentioned a moment ago. Let's see. And where does Vermont rank? Vermont should be higher. Okay, Vermont is lower when it comes to offense, which is probably not a good sign for. Oh, okay, they're right there on the same page. Okay, Vermont is 44th on offense, 73rd on defense. So you're looking at 40 on offense and 44 offense. Okay, so Arkansas and Vermont are both very similar on offense. Only difference is Arkansas has a much better defense. I don't think this is a year that we see a Vermont Cinderella run. I don't think this is a year we see Vermont, making this 13-4 upset. Arkansas has had time to rest since their tournament because they lost to Texas A&M in the semifinals, I believe, or quarterfinals. But giving Arkansas is a good one to win here. On the other side, in the South, we have our 4 seed as Illinois, and they play Chattanooga. So Chattanooga, as you can see here, is 58th on offense and 94th on defense. While Illinois is worse. It's looking like I'm not seeing Illinois up here. I'm gonna go down a little bit. Show me Illinois. Okay, they're over Jacksonville State. They have to be. So many teams in here that didn't make the tournament. Let's see. Give me Illinois. Oh, there's no way they're worse than Akron on offense, right? Where's Illinois? Why can I not find Illinois? Oh, there it is. 23rd on offense, 32nd. Okay. They're playing Chattanooga. Okay, Chattanooga, who's just slightly lower. Okay. So the 70th national team, nationally Ken Pom ranked team, and the 16th. So 23 and 32, 23 offense, 32 defense against 58 and 94. This is the first matchup where both teams are within the top 100 on both sides. A lot of people predict that Chattanooga matches up well with Illinois, and we get a 13-4 upset in the south side of this bracket. Now, if that happens, I don't think a lot of people will be surprised. Illinois has Kofi Coburn. Well, a lot of people believe, and then they have Trent Frazier and Alfonso Plummer, and Coburn is a Wooden Award finalist, but Chattanooga, all you really have to do to beat Illinois is really find a way to get Coburn out. But then I guess you find Plummer and Frazier to help, the keep up the workload. So I think Chattanooga has their hands full with Illinois. I don't see it's a potential upset, but I think Illinois notches the win over Chattanooga in this one, and giving Illinois the mark to go to the round of 32. Our next 4 seed in the East is Texas and Virginia Tech. So Texas is not so hot. Texas actually ranks They're up here ish. Yeah, okay. So Texas is 33rd on offense and 13th on defense. Like I said, their defense is a lot better than their offense is. However, Virginia Tech is 18th on offense and 54th on defense. Where Virginia Tech lacks on defense is where Texas lacks on offense. So it's a big mismatch for Texas. It's a bad matchup. Texas fans, yeah, really don't like to see it. But your offense is good, but so is Virginia Tech's offense. Like I said, they're 18th nationally, according to Ken Pom, against the 13th national defense. I think it's going to be a really good game. It'll probably be a really close game, probably low scoring. I'd probably be surprised if either team got over 65. Um, I think we see an 11-6 upset. I hate to call that because as a Virginia Tech fan, I don't want to be confident because when I'm confident, we lose. So Texas fans, you're welcome. But I'm going to take Virginia taking the upset over Texas here. So according to Ken Pom, it's just really close. Who had the tougher non-con? Let's see. Texas had the easier, much easier. Wow, their non-con was 341st. Virginia Tech's only being 182nd. So give me Virginia Tech over Texas. Texas again struggling a little bit, you know, but give me the 11-6 upset in the East, and then in the Midwest, our 11-6 is LSU versus Illinois or Iowa State. I'm sorry, Iowa State fans. Um, Iowa State and LSU. I believe Iowa State has the number one defense in the country. If I didn't already find it, okay. So Iowa State and LSU. I'm looking right over Iowa State. No, I am. Maybe not, because their offense isn't that hot. Okay, here's LSU. LSU is the fourth ranked defensive team and the 89th offense. This is going to be a very low scoring game. Um, and LSU just fired their head coach. That's another thing. You know, Ken Pom may tell you they have the fourth ranked defense, but now they don't have a head coach. So how are you going to rate that? Um, where's Iowa State? I know they're up here. Maybe not because they're an 11 seed. Okay, here they are. Iowa State is the 151 offense and the number 10 defense. So while LSU has a better offense and defense, they fired their head coach for whatever reason. I don't know. I'm not an LSU fan. I don't pay attention to LSU athletics. But their offense isn't that much better, and their defense is really going to hold it. LSU probably beats Iowa State. This game really goes either way. This could be a really good 8-9 matchup, kind of like San Diego State and Creighton are. Um, Me personally, I like Iowa State. I like Iowa State. They have the I want to say they have the harder schedule, but they don't have to face teams like Tennessee, Auburn, Alabama, and Texas A&M. So give me LSU over Iowa State. Iowa State faces Oklahoma, Texas, Texas A&M, which is no, they don't. I think the Big 12. They're in the SEC now. Texas Tech. They face Texas Tech though. And Baylor. They face Baylor. But let's see. LSU comes out here, goes 1-1 against Kentucky and Tennessee, loses to Auburn by 15, lost 3 times to Arkansas, 1-1 with Bama, beat Texas A&M both times they faced them, which is huge. Iowa State 1-2 against Texas Tech, beat Iowa by 20, but when we get to Iowa, you'll see why I'm not super impressed by that. Lost to Baylor both times. Yeah, see, they didn't even match up with Baylor. Yeah, give me LSU over Iowa State despite not having a head coach or an interim head coach. And that'll take us to the 7 seeds, our 7-10 matchups. So I mean, run that. Oh no, that was. What did we just go over? I'm sorry, I got lost. We just went over threes, didn't we? No, we went over fours. Yeah, we went over fours and threes. We went over threes. That was six. How did I skip over five? Let me go back to five. I went straight. I didn't even hit fours. I went straight from three to six. I'm sorry, guys. We'll run that back. I don't know why I got so excited, but I just went from three to six. So let's go to our four seeds. I got Arkansas and Vermont, but what did I think was a four seed here? All right. Um, I got Arkansas, Vermont, so I picked Arkansas, and we went over that. We went over Illinois and Chattanooga, but I got to the East and I went to six. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Four seed in the East is UCLA and Akron. So we'll go over UCLA and Akron here. Akron right here on the screen. They're 113th on offense, 166th defense. Um, and then UCLA is way up here. UCLA right here is 14 and 12. 14th rated offense, 12th rated defense. I really like this UCLA team. I think this UCLA team can go really far in this tournament. I think they're underrated at a four. Um, I don't know why they're so low rated because I think they're better than Kentucky. I think they're better than Wisconsin. I think they're better than Auburn. I think they put up a good fight against Kansas and Baylor, and I think they're better than just several teams rated above them. I'd go as far as say I think they're better than Texas Tech. I think they're better than Duke. I know they're better than Duke. All right, but UCLA easy win over Akron here. I don't see Akron putting up much of a fight. I don't think they'll want it more. I think UCLA, after ending up in the Final Four last year and not making it, I think they're really after something, especially with their guys who have returned. But let's get back to the four seed Providence in the Midwest. Providence versus South Dakota State, which is when I saw Providence as a four seed, I was like, okay, I've never seen them above a five or maybe not even that. Providence has always been a lower seed as far as I remember. But Providence this year has the 32 ranked offense and the 80th defense, which is not right because, I mean, Ken Pom. But, you know, whatever. If you think their offense is better than their defense, that's good for you. I think their defense is better than their offense. And they've got Providence 32 and 80. South Dakota State, they have at. It's way down here. Oh, that's San Diego State. South Dakota State has a better offense, but the worst defense. Okay. South Dakota State, a really high ranked offense. Where are you? Right there they are. They have the number 12 offense and 223 defense. 12 offense against 80 defense is huge, I believe. Especially since I think Providence focuses more on, protecting the post than they do defending the perimeter. And South Dakota State being one of those teams that will just shoot the three ball all day on you. They live by the three, they'll die by the three. And if Providence doesn't find a way to protect the perimeter, South Dakota State has several guys who can shoot the three really well. So I think this will be a 13-4 upset, actually, after I said that there wasn't one in the top part of the bracket. But give me South Dakota State over Providence. I think offense will win this game. Uh, but it'll be a close game regardless. This is a really tough game to pick. Um, I've picked Providence in some brackets. I've picked South Dakota State in others. It's just a big toss up for me. But give me South Dakota State over Providence, just based off the offensive Ken Pom. If I was going based off Ken Pom strictly, I'd still probably take South Dakota State, just because if your defense is that low ranked and you're facing the number one three shooting team in the nation, you're not going to survive, especially if you can't defend it. Providence finds a way to defend it. I'll take Providence. but it's a 50-50 matchup. I can see that being an 8-9 as well as Iowa State LSU, but a good matchup nonetheless. Should make for a pretty good watch. All right, and we'll move on to our 5 seeds. Number 5, UConn versus New Mexico State. UConn, New Mexico State. Both, I don't think UConn is super high on offense. I think their defense is a little bit better. Let's see. Okay, so there's New Mexico State. They're ranked 86th on offense, 74th on defense. So 86-74 is a pretty good matchup for a UConn team that is good all around. But where's UConn? Connecticut. Show me UConn. Oh, there they are, Connecticut. Okay. They're 22-36. So another really good matchup. Let me see if I can get them and New Mexico State on here. New Mexico State's just a little bit lower. 86-74 and 22-36. UConn should have this game in the bag pretty easy. They had a really easy non-con schedule. 263 New Mexico State's was the 61st hardest schedule, and managed to still go 26-6. You know what? New Mexico State might put up a pretty good fight here. Never faced a top 25 team though, but beat Davidson by 12, and Washington State by 3, which is huge to win a out of conference game. But UConn was able to beat Villanova, beat Auburn by 6. They lost to Providence, but beat Seton Hall 2 out of 3 times. Lost to Michigan State by just 4. Lost to Creighton both times and beat Marquette twice. Marquette, who is the 9 seed against North Carolina. So I think UConn beats New Mexico State, but again, it comes down to who wants this more, how well the team travels, how well the coach mentally prepares them. And with UConn's coach being, such a huge icon to the team, they've got a couple returning players who are really good. And I think UConn and their experience in the tournament before really helps them out. Give me Connecticut over New Mexico State. That is the first 5 seed. The next 5 seed is Houston and University of Alabama Birmingham, UAB. So Houston's offense, they're 10-11. They have the 10th ranked offense, the 11th ranked defense, and they're terrible at shooting the free throw. Non-con was 151, but you can't judge this entirely based off games they've played before. I mean, you look at their non-con schedule, look at the record, and be like, oh, you had a tough non-con, but you managed to only lose, a couple games and pull it out. Colorado State here has 229th ranked non-com and only lost 5 games. Hence why they're the 6 seeds, because they didn't have a tough, out-of-conference schedule. And even their in-conference schedule is not that tough because, they faced Wyoming, who played in the play-in game and lost to Indiana. And San Diego State. There are a few tough teams they face, but it's just not at a consistent enough basis. And their non-con wasn't strong enough for them to really make any noise. In fact, I didn't even know Colorado State was good this year until I saw them as a 6 seed. And they play, Houston and UAB. That was just an example. Houston is 10-11. UAB also sits here as the 27th ranked offense and the 88th defense. While Houston has the 10th ranked offense, this is just based off Ken Pom. This isn't, they're missing 1 or 2 starting players. This isn't, this isn't showing me their free throw percentage. This isn't showing me super in-depth stuff. This is just if you looked at the Ken Pom site and went, yeah, that team's going to win. If I'm doing that, Houston's going to win. But a lot of people are picking UAB in this game. But based off Ken Pom, give me Houston. The next 5 seed in the East bracket is St. Mary's versus Indiana, who I just mentioned. So, St. Mary's in Indiana. St. Mary's, I watched beat Gonzaga earlier this year. They were 1-2 against Gonzaga, winning one, losing two. But St. Mary's in Indiana. See, Indiana's ranked here at the 91th ranked offense and the 18th defense. So Indiana again has a really good defense. They're coming in off a playing game. They know what they would have to face if they won the playing game. Now they have to mentally prepare themselves, physically prepare, watch the film, check the players, look at who they need to shut down, what they need to do defensively, how they need to move the ball on offense, everything like that. And anything that's going to work against St. Mary's, they need to find the weaknesses, work it to their strengths, and take care of business. And St. Mary's is 62nd on offense, but ninth on defense. So again, both of these are very defensive teams, but St. Mary's has a slightly better offense, which I'm not taking into huge consideration. Indiana plays in the Big 12 or the Big 10, which is a bit harder conference than the Western Conference. But give me Indiana over St. Mary's in the 12-5 upset, just because I think Indiana is going to be more prepared, ready to go. Their coach has, the experience. St. Mary's has been here before, don't get me wrong, and they have the potential to win this game. But give me the high major over St. Mary's. Um, the 6 seed, or the 5 seed in the Midwest is Iowa, and they play Richmond. This is a game that I think Iowa's just going to win. Sure, they have the 78th ranked defense to the second ranked offense, but Richmond, coming in red hot after winning their conference championship game. Let's see, they're 69th on offense, 104th on defense. So they're right around, average is what I'd say. I mean, they're above average because they're top 100 out of, almost 400 teams. And they worked really hard to get where they are. They won the A10 championship. But I don't see Richmond taking care of business with a defense that can't stop Iowa. Regardless of what Iowa does, I think they have time to put their reserves in with about 10 minutes left. 5 to 10 minutes. I think Iowa puts their reserves in and just takes care of Richmond with ease. Um, Even though Richmond may want this a lot more, they've had to fight a lot more to get here, and they might have that sigh of relief. I mean, like, we did it. We won the A10 championship. We got that trophy. Now we face Iowa, and they're probably like, man, this is a tough team. I don't know if we can get them. I don't know. They've got that doubt in their mind. That doubt in their mind is going to be their kryptonite, and it's going to their Achilles heel is what's going to make them fall. And so Iowa beats Richmond just based off the confidence boost. All right, 6 seeds. I've gone over two. I went over LSU and Texas, but now we'll go over the 6 seeds in the West and the South, in Alabama and Colorado State. I can go. No, we didn't. I just went over Colorado State as an example a minute ago. But all right, Alabama. Alabama's offense and defense. Okay, fine. Okay, we got Colorado State right here. They're 20th and 86. 20th offense, 86 defense. Alabama has a much better defense, but their offense is a little underwhelming. They've got good guards. I'm not going to write Alabama out in any case scenario here. Um, I think Alabama takes care of Rutgers or Notre Dame. Let's see. Let me find Alabama. Where's Alabama? If they face Rutgers, they'll be a little bit tougher than if they face Notre Dame. Notre Dame puts up a good fight, but I don't think there'll be much for Alabama. I found Auburn like 10 times. Why can't I find Alabama? Okay, here's Rutgers. In case Rutgers wins, they're 108th and 42nd on defense. It might change after today, again, because they're playing in to the bracket. I know they're that. Who are they playing? Notre Dame. Notre Dame is much higher. Indiana, LSU, Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas. There they are. 15th on offense, 95th ranked defense. Defense is a little lackluster. So if they face Rutgers, oh man, what was Rutgers? If they face Notre Dame, they might struggle. Actually, now that I think about it, um, Notre Dame is ranked 30th on offense, 83rd on defense. That'd be a really good game. It'd be really close. It'd probably be 90 to 87 final if they face Notre Dame. Um, Rutgers a little worse. So I expect, 108th on offense, 42nd defense. If Rutgers wins, give me Alabama. If Notre Dame wins, um, I'll stick to my guns and I'll say Alabama. I don't think 11 beats a 6 here. It'll be really, really close. Um, but give me Alabama out of the West as a 6 seed. And then in the South, give me, well, we'll get Colorado State and Michigan here. So Colorado State and Michigan, both are right here, 32 and 34 ranked in Ken Pom, which is amazing. They're both almost equal. 19 offense, 20 offense, 90 defense, 86 defense. This is going to be a really good game and probably one of the best games to come out of the first round. Um, Winner of this game, I think, was the next round of Tennessee, regardless. But I think Michigan has to win this game to prove their worth in this tournament, to prove why they deserve to be there. Colorado State really only has one player coming in that they're right in the back of this one player, and it's not going to help them win a game. Um, Colorado State's toughest teams this year have come to Boise State, who's an 8 seed. I mean, they beat St. Mary's, who's the 5 seed. They beat them twice, or they beat them by 16. One loss against Wyoming, who didn't even make it in. They beat Creighton by 14. San Diego State, but I mean, they're playing these mid-major teams who are lower rated C's than what they are, except for St. Mary's. Um, and then Michigan comes out and they've gone 1-1 with Purdue, who is an offensive powerhouse. Um, they've won and lost against Iowa, who's another offensive powerhouse. Win loss against Ohio State, lost to Seton Hall by 2, and they beat San Diego State by 14. So in the first round, just based off experience, player talent, um, I want to say coaching. It depends if Jawan's going to be there or not. But give me Michigan over Colorado State in the 11-6 upset right there. Again, it could be an 8-9 matchup. Several of these games could be 8-9 matchups. They're very similar teams. But give me Michigan over Colorado State, which puts Michigan against Tennessee. Um, Now in the East and Midwest, we already went over the 6 seeds. I picked Virginia Tech over Texas based off Ken Pom, and based off Ken Pom, I took LSU over Iowa State. Now we'll go back to the West and we'll do 7 seeds. The 7 is Michigan State, and the South, the 7 is Ohio State. So let's take a look at Michigan State and Davidson, who's the 10 seed. And then we'll take a look at Ohio State and Loyola Chicago. So let's find my mouse. There it is. Okay, Michigan State is ranked 38th on offense, 53rd on defense. And Davidson, don't think it's above them. No. Is ranked. Are they lonely? Were they above it? I guess they were. Oh, yeah, there's Davidson. So, we've got Michigan State and Davidson, who, again, are both really close to each other. Davidson's ranked 40th nationally by Ken Pom, and Michigan State is now gone again. Oh, 30. Nope, that's Virginia. That's Michigan. Michigan State. Give me Michigan State. Okay, 39th. So you've got 39 and 40 nationally, just national ranking. And Davidson has the number 11 offense. Michigan State has the number 38 offense. However, Davidson's defense is 147th. Their defense is lackluster, while Michigan State's defense is 53rd. Um, this is a very upset type game. Michigan State comes into this hot. We're not looking at players or issues or anything like that. We're just going based off Ken Pom. Virginia Tech's coming in hot too, but I'm going based off Ken Pom. I think their offense will just be able to handle Texas's defense. So based off Ken Pom, I want to take Michigan State here, but for the same reason that I picked South Dakota State, based off Ken Pom, the offense just being too overpowering, too much. Give me Davidson over Michigan State at a 10-7 upset. So that puts Davidson against number 2 Duke in the Sweet 16. Now, let's go to Ohio State and Loyola Chicago. Ohio State, which should be already on this page, and Loyola Chicago shouldn't be far off. Ohio State, okay, they're ranked 31 nationally. Loyola Chicago is a little bit lower. So Ohio State is the 13th ranked offense and 130th defense. High power offense, lackluster defense. Makes me think Loyola Chicago is 43 and 23. They have a much better defense. A little off on offense, but they're going against a bad defense, while a good offense is going against a good defense. Good defense, good offense. I think defense wins that battle. Good offense against a bad defense. Loyola Chicago wins this game in another 10-7 upset, facing number 10 Loyola Chicago against number 2 Villanova. Now our 7th seeds in the East and Midwest, we have Murray State and USC, the University of Southern California. Now Murray State is 35th on offense, 40th on defense. Very close, very solid team is what I'm saying when I see that. Murray State is a very solid team. They play San Francisco, who is 45th on offense but 21st on defense. Another very solid team. Either of these teams could win. I see Murray State. I see their record is 30 and 2. I don't care about it. I see their non-con is 49th, which is crazy. San Francisco's was 95th. Also a very good non-con schedule. Murray State managed to only lose 2 games all year. Throw it out the window. It doesn't matter. This comes down to who wants it more. Based off Ken Pom and just Ken Pom alone, I would take Murray State. It's just they're just slightly more solid. I think they'll carry their heat into this game and they'll take care of business. It won't be pretty. It won't be a solid win. It'll be a close win. They're not going to win by. I don't think they'll win by double digits, but I think they'll beat San Francisco in a very close matchup, and that puts number 7th seed Murray State against 2nd seed Kentucky. Now we go to Southern California, USC, and they will be facing Miami in a very, very interesting matchup. Miami ranks 17th on offense, 155th on defense. USC, however, ranks what looks to be lower on offense. Let me see. Ain't no way they're this low. Ain't no way they're below Creighton. Yeah, they're not this low. USC. Is you gonna tell me USC or is you gonna tell me Southern California? USC. There's UCLA. That's not what I'm looking for. I already picked that game. There we go. USC is 46 and 49. USC, another solid team, good defense, Not a great defense, not elite defense, but a good defensive team against a high-powered, great offensive team. Um, that is a lot lackluster defense. Again, good offense against a bad defense. Not a terrible defense, not the worst defense in the tournament, but a kind of lackluster defense and but a really high-powered offense. This is a very big toss-up game. 10-7s, they're crazy. Um, but based off Ken Pom and Ken Pom alone, give me USC over Miami. Putting USC against number 2 Auburn. Now, if Miami wins this game, don't be surprised if Miami beats Auburn. Because what did we see? What did we see? When we go to Auburn, we know that Miami has a bad defense. But where's Auburn's defense rank? Auburn's defense ranks 8th. I don't know. Maybe Auburn just makes a run. We'll see. We'll keep going. But that goes through 7s, and that only leaves the 8-9 games because we've gone through 116s. This is why we won't be going 9 on because I just be repeating myself again. But 8-9. The first one is Boise State and Memphis versus Seton Hall and TCU in the South. So in the West, we've got Boise State and Memphis, a game that nobody really knows how to pick this game because both teams are very, very good. Very similar. Boise State, I believe, is a little more physical. Memphis, I believe, is a little better coached. So let's see what we've got. Boise State and Memphis. As I scroll through, making sure I don't miss either of them. Okay, there's Memphis. And is Boise State close? I think Boise State's lower. I think Boise State's higher. If I had to put money on it, I say Boise State's a little bit better. Okay. Okay, I see Memphis, but I'm not seeing BSU. Oh, there they are. They're 29 nationally. Memphis is 28 according to Ken Pom. Boise State's 29. Offensively, Memphis is 48 on offense, 33 on defense. Boise State is 77 and 19. Boise State has a much better defense. Their offense is kind of lacking against a top 35 defense. Based off Ken Pom alone, give me Memphis in the 9/8 upset, whatever. That puts number 1 Gonzaga against number 9 in the West. We're gonna go over the whole West bracket I've got right now. I've got Gonzaga versus Memphis, UConn versus Arkansas, Alabama versus Texas Tech, and Davidson versus Duke. Just based off Ken Pom rankings and how I feel about great offense versus bad defense and bad defense versus good offense. Now as we swing over to the South here, we've got Seton Hall versus TCU. Seton Hall and TCU both right here at the bottom of my screen. Both of them right here, between Boise State. Seton Hall having the 76th ranked offense, TCU 78th. Both defenses 27-24. This is a toss-up. This is the biggest toss-up that I've come across so far. You've been here with me. Both teams within 2 on offense and within 3 on defense. Not a whole lot separating the two. Both teams are very good. Both teams face a tough schedule, despite Seton Hall being a mid-major. Seton Hall couldn't pull it off against Villanova. Went 1-2 against UConn. TCU 1-2 against Kansas. Lost twice to Baylor. 1-1 with Texas Tech. Only won once against Texas. Beat LSU. Beat Oklahoma twice. 1-1 with Iowa State. Beat Texas A&M. Seton Hall beat Michigan by 2. Lost to Ohio State by just 3. Beat Xavier twice. And lost to Marquette twice. Seton Hall rebounds the ball really well. TCU is one of the best defensive teams in the tournament. They're really guarding the perimeter, not so much in the post. let's see. I don't know if Seton Hall shoots the three a whole lot. Um, just based off what I've seen here, if I just go based off Ken Pom, TCU's defense is a little bit better, just slightly worse on offense, and it's super super close. Like it's just a tenth of a point off. Give me TCU over Seton Hall. And now my South bracket is number 1 Arizona versus number 9 TCU, and then number 5 Houston versus number 4 Illinois, number 11 Michigan versus number 3 Tennessee, number 10 Loyola Chicago versus 2 Villanova. And we'll move down to the East, where we have Marquette versus North Carolina. A very, very interesting matchup. Marquette, the 61th ranked according to Ken Pom, the 61st offense and the 45th defense. North Carolina coming in with the number 26 offense and 63 defense. So we can get both on pretty close to one page here. Let's see. Okay, so very top of the page right here is North Carolina. Very bottom is Marquette. So 26 and 61. And then 63 and 45. Now, while Marquette has a good defense, it's a very similar defense as far as ranking goes. North Carolina has the far superior offense, giving North Carolina over Marquette based off Ken Pom. And so, in the East, my second round is number 1 Baylor versus number 8 North Carolina, number 12th ranked 12 seed Indiana versus 4 seed UCLA, 11 seed Virginia Tech versus 3 seed Purdue, 7 seed Murray State versus 2 seed Kentucky. And then we'll jump to the Midwest for our San Diego State versus Creighton game. This is projected to be the lowest scoring game out of the first round. So if you expect a whole lot of scoring and you like a whole lot of scoring, you probably should not watch this game. So you have San Diego State and Creighton. Creighton, known for Coach McDermott's son, Sean McDermott, who played there and led Creighton to a either Sweet 16 or an Elite 8 run several years ago. As some of you may remember, some of you may not. That's all right if you don't. I don't even remember how many years ago it was. It could have been like 3 years ago, and it feels like forever. COVID kills, man. Kills time. All right, so let's see. Can I find either of these two teams? Is it possible for me to find? They're both defensive. All right, they're both down here. I know San Diego State is right here. They're ranked 161st on defense. Actually, offense. Their offense is 161. Their defense is second. Meanwhile, San Diego State does not have the worst offense in the tournament still. Creighton is 126th on offense, 17th on defense. A very, very interesting matchup. However, based off Ken Pom, which is what we're looking at, San Diego State has the worst offense by 40 positions, 103.9 and 105.5. It's really, really tough. I like the defense a little bit more here. San Diego State finds a way to stop Creighton from scoring at all, making the 126 irrelevant. Give me San Diego State over Creighton. That makes my Midwest round of 32. 1 seed Kansas versus 8 seed San Diego State. 5 seed Iowa versus 13 seed South Dakota State. 6 seed LSU versus 3 seed Wisconsin. 7 seed USC versus 2 seed Auburn. And that concludes my round of 64 winners and losers based off of just Ken Pom. Now, if you have any questions, concerns, comments, I'm doing a round of 64 now. I'll make another video tomorrow on the round of 32. My winners and losers are there, and I'll probably just go through the rest of the tournament tomorrow because Friday is a big day. I might I might do the other video tonight, but I'll release it in the morning. That way, I'm not flooding everything at once. But there's my round of 64 winners losers. Again, the upsets, the major upsets being South Dakota State over Providence, Indiana versus over St. Mary's, Virginia Tech over Texas, um, Davidson over Michigan State, Loyola Chicago over Ohio State, Michigan over Colorado State. Um, those are the real upsets. Nothing else super crazy. Again, I appreciate you guys watching, sticking around, and we'll see you in the next one.